Привет, друзья! Продолжаем прохождение игры Outer Worlds. Так, погнали. Так, на чем мы остановились? Так, нам нужна на сциллу. Тут на сциллу. В принципе. Зайца убьем. Так. Кому нужна сциллу? Икарию вроде бы и Феликсу.
Well, hey there, Hullhead. Clawed your way out of the groundbreaker at long last?
Uh-huh. Oh, sorry, were you expecting me to say something? Maybe a long time no see, or a you've aged, old man? I thought you were dead. Or throwing yourself against the walls of some re-education center. It's been 5 years, Clyde. The best thing you can say is, hey there, Hullhead?
No, Felix. The best thing I can say to you is yet to come. Also, I'd like to have a word with your captain. So, you took Felix under your wing. Kept him busy. Good. Kid always needed a place to belong.
Felix is, a vital member of our crew. He's... well, he's... good in a fight.
Hear that, Clyde? I've been making something out of myself.
So long as you haven't been making a fool of yourself. I'm sure Felix has no end of stories to tell of your exploits together. I look forward to catching up with the boy. I'm working on something. Something big. Something the likes of which Halcyon has never seen. And I want Felix to be a part of my initiative. I'm fulfilling a promise I made to the boy, that one day, he and I would change the colony together. That day has finally arrived.
Easy there, Clyde. No one said nothing about throwing in with you. In case you didn't notice, I'm pretty happy where I am.
I'm not asking you to walk away from your captain, Felix. But neither should you allow yourself to be controlled by fear. Change is not to be feared. I brought you here because I want to know where Felix's loyalties lie. When the day of our revolution comes, I want to know that I can rely on him. I understand that Felix is part of your crew, at least for now. If the thought of losing him troubles you, then understand that you're helping him solve a problem for an old friend. I want you to deal with a traitor for me. Name's Trask. Kill him, and bring me proof of his death. His ring should do nicely. Ratted us out to the board. He's been an informant. Has been for years. When he realized I was onto him, he and his little cadre mutinied. Killed 5 of my own and tucked tail. I don't know where he's hiding, but his wife might. Rosanna. Lives on the Groundbreaker last I checked. Rosanna knows my crew by name and face, but you're a stranger to her. She'll talk to you.
You think so? Maybe we should have a word with Trask. Get his side of the story first.
You'd be wasting your breath bandying words with that traitor. But if it makes you feel better, by all means. Remember, I want proof. Bring me his ring. I don't care if the hand's still attached. Here, my token. Think of this as my personal signature. Anyone who knows me by my works will know me by this token. Let's hear it. I was working on this plan for years, saving every bit I could, drawing plans, biding my time. I never intended to spend my life laboring on the Groundbreaker. When the opportunity presented itself, I did what I had to do.
You might have said something.
I had some ugly business in Scylla. If I told you, I would have implicated you. Hephaestus controlled mining operations all over Scylla. Most of these operations failed. The company pulled out and abandoned their facilities. Mostly abandoned anyway. This one was running on a skeleton crew. My associates and I seized control in a matter of minutes. A revolution is the work of a lifetime, Captain. I've spent my life. Everything you see around you is the result of that preparation. A base of operations. Hardly. The board is rotting from the inside. Tomorrow, next... Entropy is the natural state of the universe, Captain. All systems inevitably dissolve. When that day comes to Halcyon...
That was simultaneously the least scientific and most pompous statement I've heard in ages. Well done, Mr. Harlow.
A vicar. I admit, you do keep some interesting company.
I believe I hear Felix and Parvati discussing the latest Aether. Destination reached. Scylla.
What have the solar winds deposited on my doorstep now? Just more dirt and debris? Or do you... I must admit, I tire of the truth seeker.
We've been told this was once yours. I believe the knowledge within here contains the answers I seek. Answers that will free men's minds from toil.
I can translate it, but it won't do you any good. I can see you are a man in a hurry, and the insights in that book would take you years of study to fully comprehend.
I have spent my life in contemplation. I believe my mind is prepared to receive the truth.
There is one way that can speed up the process. It involves a combination of several ingredients, some of which can be fatal. It is not for the faint of heart or the unprepared. Either hallucinations followed by unconsciousness and a crass way to put it. And I believe he may be right. There is both violence and peace warring in...
I'm committed,
No matter the cost. It's just drugs, Max. We ain't making you walk in front...
All right. Head on into the meditation room and partake of the sacramental incense. It's waiting on the table when you're ready to be...
Poor Maximilian, why are you still doing this? You've been fighting against the world since before you left home. Haven't you figured out yet that the more you fight, the more pain you cause yourself?
Mother, you're dead. You can't be here. I knew this was too good to be true. These are just cheap hallucinogens that have... What's happening to my voice? Does my voice sound weird to you? And what's wrong with your face?
What's wrong, Max? Can't think straight? Now you know how I feel. Wait, forget I said that.
We are obviously the victims of a tasteless joke being perpetuated. Perpetrated? I mean, we're being made fools of, aren't we? When I get out of here, I'm going to show that hermit what you get for messing with me.
Maximilian, always ready to give up, to lash out, always searching for answers, but always in the wrong place, never looking inside himself.
You look inside yourself all the time, Max. But with your head buried up your posterior.
Thank you. It relieves me to see there's at least one positive influence in my son's life after all these years. Has he told you how he thoughtlessly abandoned us?
Thoughtlessly? How could you say that? I only wanted you and Father to be proud of me. I was going to be the perfect vessel. I was going to be a better... more full of the plan. This here, it's all coming out wrong. The plan, it filled you with a joy I could never feel. I wanted it. And being a laborer made me miserable. I was better than that.
You certainly convinced yourself you were. But don't feel bad. We continually lie to ourselves, weaving stories in a vain attempt to convince us that we are in control of anything. These stories are how we try to make sense of our lives, but they are not real, are they? They're just stories. You need to drop your story and see the truth.
I got your story right here.
I'm Bigger Max. I'm uptight. I love the church, and I'm a stooge for the board. And I don't understand that Felix is a genius.
want me to give up my discipline? My control? Oh, but I can't. I can't. Without order, there is chaos.
You need to love the chaos, Maximilian. Let it envelop you. Take you where it will. Besides, you really have no choice anyway.
No, that's not true. The basis of everything is order, not chaos. It's true, I know it is. So did you. Why are you denying it? Before you died, the plan made you happy.
No, it didn't. I made myself happy. There's nothing holding you back but you. If you can't understand that, you will never understand anything. Goodbye, Maximilian.
This whole thing, it's just a farce, right? Just my own brain working against me? You couldn't be more right. Hello, Max. What? Who? Why do you look like me? Are you me? Not really. I'm who you think you are. I am disciplined, controlled. I have no doubts. And I don't exist. Yet you have judged yourself against me your whole life. Why? Why do you berate yourself for not being me?
Yeah, Max, why do you do that?
I don't know what to say. Thank you, Captain, but I don't know. Is it wrong to try to be a gooder, better person than I am? But that's not what you're doing, is it? You're desperately trying to find a story to organize reality in your head. A story to control everything. A new story of the happy you, the contented you. Me. That's not... It can't be right. I've only been searching for the answer to the equation, because it will set us free, won't it? How? By removing the need to make any decision. To have your life completely controlled. The illusion of certainty. Your obsession allowed you to avoid the real question. Who are you? I'm Max. Me! I'm real. You can't convince me otherwise. Please don't convince me I'm not. The concept of Max is what's not real. By the architect. Architect? How could I have believed in an architect? That's ridiculous. I must be losing my mind completely. What you're saying almost makes sense. We exist inside our thoughts, thinking we're in control. That's it, isn't it? We have no control over anything. It's all lies. How could I not have seen this? But how do we escape ourselves? I see you're back with us. Feared we lost you there. Never seen anyone pass out yet stay upright before. I woke up. The illusions I built for myself just fell away. I'm no longer interpreting, I'm experiencing. Everything is perfect. No, no. Not perfect in that sense. But it is still perfect. It's all there to be experienced, to be lived. Of course there is pain and loss, but the suffering is caused by trying to control reality. Clinging to the way you want things to be, not enjoying the way they are. I am content. I've finally found what I was looking for, even though I was looking for the wrong thing.
So, have you found your answers?
Not so much found as finally listened.
Yes, it is quite the convoluted maze we build for ourselves. It looks like you learned something in there as well.
Hearing that brings me great joy, my friend.
Security.
Oh, that's the last of him.
A reminder to all crew members, there is only one toilet on the ship. We've arrived at the groundbreaker.
You see we had a conveyor pull in?
Rizzo's Brickleberry Fudge. A soft sour candy shop around.
This is Halcyon New.
You mind trying to have a moment here? Rufus and I are no longer on speaking terms. You're telling me you're on a first-name basis with Ms. Tennyson? Yeah, the promenade doesn't feel like I'm walking the surface of Tartarus. So that was you, huh? Rufus is hiding out in Emerald Vale. Got a few friends with him. Please, just make it quick. That's right. Our marriage contract expired some months ago. And seeing how he's technically an outlaw, I wouldn't renew even if I wanted to. Only that Rufus is in a bad way. He came to see me a little ways back. Said he had to go into hiding. Never asked why. He was here to collect his personals, complain about Harlow to me, and say goodbye. In that order. No, and he was particular about that. Said I was better off not getting entangled. Precious little. He and Rufus worked together on the Groundbreaker. A few years later, Rufus gets a message from an old friend. Something about starting a revolution. Something about getting rich.
He must have been recruiting. Gathering up his band.
Word of advice, kid? Anybody carrying on about a revolution just wants to sell you. I don't know Harlow. Never so much as bandied a word with the fellow. Appreciate it.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled...
Ah, your face is a sight for sore ocular processors, Captain. Or... We are now in orbit above Edgewater, Captain. Stay safe out.
Well done. We're still alive. Nice.
I don't know who you are or why you're prowling. You're one of Harlow's gun hands, ain't you? Yeah, of course he did. Thing is, you and I are at an impasse. Harlow wants me. How do I know that I can... Yeah, guess that's a fair point. Listen, I don't know what lies Harlow's dripped down your ear, but you'd be a fool to trust him. I never betrayed Harlow. Harlow betrayed all of us. The board's got him in their pocket, been paying him off for years. All that palaver about revolutions? It's a lie.
You're a real piece of work, Trask. Not just a turncoat, but a liar, too.
Go piss up a rope, kid. I've got nothing to prove to you. That's the whole truth. Harlow's just another board asset. A 2-bit mercenary wearing a dissident's clothes. Yeah, I've got proof. There's always a paper trail when the board's involved. I chanced upon some correspondence between Harlow and his employer. I don't know that it makes a difference. What was I to do with that evidence? Bring it in front of the board? There's no authority in Halcyon willing to take Harlow to task. I hid my papers before Harlow chased me out. Back in the middle of the base, there's an old vent in a utility corridor. I stashed my evidence in that vent. Because he's for sale, anything the board can buy, the board will buy, and that includes loyalty. Harlow was a charismatic bastard, and he was ruthless. With Harlow in their pocket, the board had an informant, a pirate, a smuggler, and a gang leader all rolled up into one odious excuse for a human being. Board-sanctioned piracy. Harlow went after the ships the board wanted destroyed, capturing anybody the board wanted captured. If we captured you, we'd ransom you. Harlow liked to do the job himself. Gather up the captives on his own ship, vanish for a couple of days. Only that's not what happened. Harlow's been selling his captives off to the board. I don't know where they ended up. Re-education, Tartar... Take it you've made up your mind. You gonna tell Harlow I'm dead? May as well. Here, take the ring. And for what it's worth...
Some crew members are causing a disturbance on the ship. We'll be here. Captain?
Clyde Harlow, agent of the board. Yeah, that sounds Then again, Trask knew he was a dead man. I've been trying to tell myself Clyde's got some sensible explanation. None of this is making a lick of sense to me right.
What's the word? Not surprised. Trask was a dead man trying to negotiate with his own executioner. He'd say anything to preserve his life. That's a damning accusation. Am I right to presume you have some evidence on hand? Those papers don't prove a thing. We've all done business with the board. They own the whole damn colony. Trask put you up to this. That miserable wretch. He's trying to undermine everything I stand for. You've got a lot of nerve calling me a liar to my face. How should I know? What the hell do I care? Trask was a traitor. I didn't ask you to understand his motives. I asked you to cross him off.
Clyde, look me in the eye and tell me it's not true. Tell me, and I'll believe you.
Don't talk to me like I'm some common criminal, Felix. You're the one on trial, not me. I don't know what kind of poison that snake dripped in your ear, but as far as I'm concerned, you've been compromised.
Heads up! That's the last of them. Heads up, boss! That's the last of them.
you bring me anything? New parts? Last weekend's crossword puzzle? Preferably not already filled out this time.
This is definitely... The void's black, water's wet, and Clyde hated the board. That's something I just knew. No, I guess you really don't. I've just got a lot on my mind right now. This is a lot to take in. I always looked up to Clyde. The thought that he could be an agent of the board is just... Yeah, he did. And I'm not sure how I'm... I hope so. You've given me a lot to think about. I'm gonna be mulling over this whole mess. Part of me wishes we'd put Trask in the ground. You know, I think that's just my frustration talking. Thanks for your time, Bob.
Hey, no loitering. What? Let me see that. Yeah, I remember that job. Nice and clean. Easy pickings. Mr. Harlow never said we was working for the board. Stands to reason, though.
That's all you have to say? Your boss was taking money from the board. He's a mercenary for the establishment.
Yeah, what's your point? We all gotta play ball with the board, kid. They own this whole damn colony. Mr. Harlow says a lot of things, and as long as I get my share of the plunder, I believe every word he says.
You're a real piece of work. Nice to know Harlow's filling his crew with certified jackasses. I think we've heard enough.
Nothing to do but stand around and watch the stars go by.
Been ages since we had a good haul. No freighters, no jobs, no contracts, leaks.
What's the word? So it is. Thus ends Rufus Trask. I hope you never have to discover what it is like, Captain.
Trask had some things to say about you.
That's a damning accusation. Those papers, Trask put you... Listen to me, Felix. Don't go jumping to conclusions. This isn't...
Yeah, because it looks like you've been taking money from the board. It looks like you...
Oh, come on, Felix. We've all taken money from the board. I can't pay my soldiers in ideological purity. If I have to take the board's money to buy my guns, outfit my troops, and prepare...
Clyde, look me in the eye.
Don't talk to me like I'm some common criminal, Felix. You're the one. I don't know what kind of poison that snake dripped in your ear, but as far as I'm concerned, you've been compromised.
Yeah, that's what you get!
We're now in orbit above Stellar Bay, Captain. Remember that you are not
factory offers the loveliest aromas, like if you cook forest over a sulfur pit. Whew. Here we go.
Well, this is the spot. You know, I thought I'd be angry. I thought I'd storm in here in a rage and but I ain't. I'm mostly the first night Hayes and I spent in here, we knew it was home. It's safe. It's got a nice chill to it. Monarch folks often joke about it. Not because of the smell or the grittiness it leaves in your throat. Not because of the headaches or the cough. It's because there's no escaping it. It's life here, and there ain't anything you can... But here, somehow the sulfur never made it. The nights we spent in here felt like vacations. We hauled in steel, hired sublight folk to help. That's how we met Anders and Opal. They stuck around after our contract was up. Opal liked camping. 4 of us for a while, scraping together what bits we could to build our home. Then came Rebecca, a sawbones out of the Cascadia survivor, and Clara, her little sister. I'll admit I wasn't keen on taking her on it. More like attached at the hip to her older sister. Got a kind of strength between them, I suppose. She had a head for numbers, helped us trade hides for food and materials, negotiated contracts. Turned out to be mighty useful. Clara, Hayes, Anders, Rebecca, Opal, and me. Me too, Captain. But now let's get to shooting before I get all sentimental.
Incoming, Captain!
Hold on, America!
I wish these were more auspicious circumstances, but at least we're all here. That makes it stupid. By all accounts, we should have left. Captain. You mind if we rest a spell before we head out? I'd like to bear... know, I'd been assuming this entire stay on your ship. That said, you ain't been eaten or shot to death yet. Says a lot about the stability of your future. And to be honest, so how's about this? You keep letting me stay on that ship of yours, and I'll keep shooting. Outstanding.
You seen Arthur today?
Uh-huh. You blind, fella? Or can you not see I'm bit? Why is it every sissy pig fucker who strolls into my town expects me to smile and shout? Only nugget of paradise in this entire law-forsaken land.
I could listen to her talk for hours.
Truthfully spoken, I do aim to I'll be sure to remember that, fella. Want to tell me what you need? Well, I'm half-less. Might be I know something about it. Might be someone hired my crew to blind drop supplies on the northern bridge. Might be they sure as shit weren't pirates. Now that I consider it, I ain't heard from my delivery team in far too long. Find them for me, and I'll pay you handsomely.
Привет, сюда, астронавт. Да, я тоже играю, такое замечаю. Тут, по сути, больше разговоров, чем действий.
And I'll thank you kindly for it. Good of you to finally haul your ass over here. I wired for backup weeks ago. Got something that's gonna require special extraction from
Какая-то лайтовая версия Fallout на sci-fi сеттинге.
Found it on a corpse, huh? If you killed Lilia's agent, you get to explain it to her, not me. Well, shit. I knew he'd come to a bad end one day. Still, no time for weeping and wailing. We've got a metric fuck ton of bits worth of salvage just waiting for extraction.
Ну и по сути сам мир не слишком большой, и уже видно, что разнообразие там тех же самых квестов, оружия не сильно большое. То есть те же пушки, только там модификация 1, 2 и так далее. не знаю, либо ограниченный бюджет на игру был, либо ограниченное время.
Special as in unlawful, delicate, and deadly. As to the something, no, it ain't a person. Not this time. One of my runners uncovered a cache of Alta Vitae gas, left in a lab when the board abandoned Cascadia. To extract the gas, you'll need to siphon it from the lab in Cascadia into one of your ship's fuel tanks. Totally safe. Do I look like one of them egghead science types? All I know is that labs use it to create plants and livestock out of local species. But it's a controlled commodity, available only to the board, so it is of high value on the dark market. Meaning safe for me and my crew, seeing as it ain't us undertaking the risk. Hold your thrusters. I ain't even got to the tricky part. To get to the gas, you'll need to navigate through the town, which is overrun by marauders. The lab itself has become an infested nest, crawling with mantis. You gotta fight through or figure out some other way to exterminate them. Maybe the ventilation system?
And will again. We ought to be taking any opportunity we get to bury those
Direct and aggressive. I always did like your sensibilities. You know when to strike and when...
Crews are for ships. They were a family.
Close enough. Now, after you clear the manti nest and reach the storage room, all that's left is... The task will require someone with technical skills. Or you could force it through with a plasma overload. Don't recommend that option, though. Dandy. Did I mention the gas is of an extremely volatile nature? Handle. Once you've got our goods, take them to the groundbreaker. Lilia, I've marked the coordinates for you to the lab in Cascadia. On the terminal, you... But before you make your run, I could use a heavy helping hand. Good. This particular... There's a Borst factory on up the way, run by a man who calls himself the King. That aside, it's a business ripe for the plucking. Stars, I hope so. Clive Lundberg, the self-proclaimed Borst King of Monarch, is swimming in profit. He's making the only meal to be had this side of Monarch, and I'm tired of ponying up for my dinner. I want that Borst factory, owner dead or alive. And you're the soon-to-be handsomely paid... Kill him, run him out. I don't rightly care for the details. So long as Clive knows resistance, hit him where it hurts. In his gut or his production line. Then I'd say you might care to poison the cysty pigs, doctor a few financial records, or throw a wrench in the canning machinery.
Привет, Миш. Спасибо большое.
Sometimes the simplest solution is the sweetest. It'll be more than good. Oh, and if you don't fancy going in guns blazing or crawling through a sewer pipe, see Duncan in the dry goods and sundry building. He ought to have an employee. May luck be with you.
Как дела? Ну, отлично.
She's fine. Well, so long as you ain't on her bad side. Then she's liable to drown you in the waterfall.
Как у тебя сегодня? успехи. Качество огонь. Это хорошо. Я планирую дальше взять какую-то посерьезнее видеокарту. Уже когда NVIDIA Ampere выйдет. Через годика, через полгодика, я думаю, это выйдет.
I test every product. No. Not so fast. The biometric IDs are special. She needs it for a job? Well, why didn't you say so? Reckoned you asked her where the best Give me a jiffy to break. I mean, This goes... That'll do it. Careful. I'm trusting you to guard this specialty good with your life. I mean it. Lose the ID and you don't... Will that be all, or do you require something to say?
Ну да, люди такие. Я тоже, когда в Мегаспорте был, случайно услышал, сотрудницы разговаривали, типа какой-то пацан на себя записал все заказы за прошлый день.
Welcome to the offices of the Greater Halcyon Insurance Group, Halcyon's premier provider of life and disaster-related insurance. I'm obligated to inform you that our coverage does not extend to incidents deemed to result from negligence,
Поэтому
criminal
я
activity, or dullness
не
of
очень
mind.
люблю контактировать, так скажем, на работе с такими вот людьми. Потому что в лицо тебе говорят одно, а делают совсем
We're running a
другое.
special on dismemberment policies. Buy one, get one half off. We're not on Monarch. Oh, it's certainly not about... Plenty. We've... Usually character actors, or corporate execs with menacing stares. That policy is almost in the unlikely. Those are my... We... One thing...
О,
Go away, White.
да, люди работают не для того, чтобы там кого-то любить, не любить, блин, на работе. А на работе ты работаешь Ради денег, так сказать. Ты там не обязан кого-то там любить или еще что-то.
Hey, Myoka. Some questions I've been meaning to ask you about being a hunter and all.
Felix, are you reading off your hand again?
Yep. So, first question. Before you kill your prey, do you ever say any snappy one-liners?
Snappy one-liners? Give me an example.
Like, nothing personal, or maybe, you messed with the wrong hunter.
Animals can't understand language, Felix. Besides, it's always personal. Fine. Solid kill. Make me catch that armor. Nothing like a good tussle.
Не убьешь.
As I was telling you, animals can't understand language, Felix. Besides, it's always personal. I don't kill them, they'll kill me. It ain't exactly a wholesome business arrangement we've got going on.
Hello there. A word, if I may be so bold.
Говори, пока что я подумаю.
Well now, here I thought those mantisaurs had peacefully exited the premises. Name's Weston. Every once in a while I set up shop along these here roads. Care to purchase?
Отправить на 2 недельки в отпуск для увеличения количества персональных продаж. Ну понятно. Короче, на уши может присесть, да, покупатель. Вот таких, да, Я таких встречал, таких типа начальство ценит. Хотя вот, сотрудники, да, скажем, как человек, такие вот, личности в большинстве случаев как человек говно. Показывает статистика. А как мне вниз спуститься?
Must have been one ugly fight.
We ought to be quick about this.
Тут случилось. Тут столько крови, я не знаю, тут литров 10. Ну, больше. Кенты, в смысле, ты типа знакомые? Это знакомые? Или типа сдружился? Ну тогда вообще отлично. Что такое? Что будет? Прикольно. Да блин, сколько тут мин. На 6:45? Ничего себе. Ну, удачки тебе. Спасибо, что заглянул. За лайк спасибо. Отдельный. Да, конечно, когда будет трансляция, зайду. Не знаю, можно, в принципе, изводом покатать. Но у меня, если честно, кончился прям аккаунт в танках. И я, ну, вообще не горю желанием за что-нибудь закидывать. Я надеюсь, скоро опять уезжаю, так что если будет трансляция, я увижу, конечно, зайду.
Stay back. I may be wounded, but I'm still armed. How'd you get past my traps anyway?
Разве этот человек похож на раненого, с которого вылилось 3 литра крови там? Я посмотрю. Что там за реплейчик?
Just remember, I still got bullets. In case you get any funny
Он
ideas.
сидит такой в кожаночке,
What are you doing out here anyway?
в башечке.
That feels a mite better. Wish I had something to give you, but I knocked
Да,
through my
да,
last scrap
спокойно.
burst an hour ago.
Тебе, конечно, через 7 часов уже нужно быть на работе, это жесть.
Catherine had us making drops for some big shot client out here. And before you ask, I don't know who they are. Or were. The whole point of making drops in the middle of nowhere was to keep their identity and whereabouts a secret. The Marauders knew we were coming. Rigged the bridge with explosives and everything. If they found us, my guess is they found the client too. Cave like this makes a handy place to store goods or hide out for a spell. And the traps usually keep gawkers out. Last I saw, they were heading back up the hill. You'll see it on the right when you get out of here. If you got the sand to go after him, I'm sure Catherine can reward you for your trouble. Me? I'm headed back to Fallbrook, just as soon as I've caught my breath.
this. Just let us down from here. The humidity is really uncomfortable.
Come. Coming!
I didn't mean what I said about your outfit.
Blowing up a piece of monarch. Incoming! Don't mess with us.
Please, you don't have to do this. Just let us down from here. The humidity... Look, I didn't mean what I said about your outfit. It's very fashionable, I swear.
Somebody's blowing up a piece of monarch. I want in. Huh?
Come at him.
Everyone all right?
few more questions for you. They're real simple. Don't think about them too much. All right. You ever lured out your prey by mimicking the cry of a mantisaur?
No, monarch prey.
Thank you again for retrieving the bolt. It's every... Anyway? Excellent timing on your part. I worked my fingers to nubs, but I've finally completed the Bolt 52 form. I dare say it will be my
You're getting ahead of your...
So I am. Do you have this? I'm working on a plan to reorganize the board. Slowly, peacefully, and with me.
You are? You... That...
But that's entirely the point. We've got to hope. We have got...
What about the folks out in the wilderness? Amber Heights, Fallbrook. Will you share with them, or will you hoard those resources?
My sincerest hope is for MSI to become a model for all of Halcyon. But truly, I am getting ahead of myself. First... I knew there was something going on. This is exactly the proof we need. The board will have to welcome us back now. I'll transmit this data along with the completed Bolt 52 right away. After that...
That means no more broadcasts from us.
Now we just gotta go dance with those iconoclasts.
Believe me, you've got your work cut out for you there. Was there anything else?
Так, решая дополнительное задание, мы решили одно из главных заданий установить радиовещание MSI. Теперь осталось иконоборцев. Ладно, на этом, друзья, на сегодня закончим. Всем спасибо за просмотр, всем удачи, еще увидимся, всем пока.